Alright, what's going on, guys? It is Spot the Aussie here for round 8 of our Asian Touring Championship, the GP2 if that's what you want to call it, and we are going to Rio de Janeiro. Please give this video a thumbs up if you're liking this series so far. We've been very competitive. In fact, we've been so competitive in our first season of the championship that we're currently coming first. Let's look at the standings, shall we not? Dragon Race Team China. That name is such a tongue twister. Shouldn't it be China Dragon Race Team, or like Dragon China Race Team, or just Dragon Race Team? I don't know. Having China, like your country, after the name of team just sounds weird, but anyway, whatever. Made in China, known to break, whatever. Here we go. Coming first, championship by 29 points. We are untouchable party, coming first as well. Lara in 4th. And as for the sponsors, we're killing it. We've got a 1.3 mil sponsor for bonus payments when they roll up. 4 stars. We have 1 empty slot for 3 races. I actually was looking at this and I'm thinking about signing them up. And you're like, why would you sign them up? You know, it's going to be 450, 600,000. I'm not going to use them for the bonus. I want the upfront payment. And they're only going to be 3 races long. So before we start this round, if they're the only sponsor available, let's just sign them up. Let's get that cold hard cash, and by the end of the season we'll have enough. But our in terms of our sponsor appeal, we are like 2.5%, 2.3% off getting 90%, which I think would push us up to 9th. Which would fill up our sponsorship appeal level of 5th, so we'd get higher tier sponsors, possibly. So anyway, we are looking at our championship, and because we are winning so conveniently, or I should say so efficiently in terms of the gap between first and second, I'm not designing any new parts. I'm not spending the money. I'm literally just fixing up what needs to be fixed, and I'm improving what we have. So it's more about, for me, it's more just about, you know, trying to get the car running in the optimum range and the parts working what we have, and saving as much money for when we get promoted to the World Championship, provided that we do finish first. I'm hoping that we do, considering we're so high up. But now it's just about going through the races. Now, we did a political vote. We said to the chairman, we're going to give him our vote. We're giving our vote to the chairman for $250,000. That was in the last episode. So we gave him our vote. So what ended up happening? You've been bribed to vote in favor for. Sure. How are we looking? Suspension can no longer be developed in-house. All teams use standard suspension. Performance level of 150. Wow, it's so low, isn't it? This lowers the annual cost of car development. I mean, that would be good for us because we'd rather just team up. And it looks like most people are going to vote no. So we still get our $250,000, even though everyone's voted. So that worked really well. You know, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're not even going to be in that championship anymore. So what? There will be no suspension. Cool. Let's have a look at our scattered drivers once the timer stops. Ooh, sponsors. Ah, they're rubbish. Ooh, that's not too bad. $800,000, 10th or above. But we get 800 for 4 races. You know what? I think that's what we need to sign up. I think that's who we're going to sign up. That's good cash money. All these sponsors are going to free up in 4 races, which hopefully will have markability at 100%. Scouting. Who do we scout recently? Do we have any better drivers? Not that we're looking at getting a new driver. This is purely for next season. If we see anyone that we like. Ugh. Yuck. Yucky. Andrea. Well, 3.5 stars, I should say. And old. Yeah, look at that. Older you get, 36 years old, you lose 2 in each trait. Interview request. Here we go. Hi, Spot the. We'd like to take some of Enrique's time for the day. Enrique morale +5. Well, she's at 100% morale. So we're going to take the interview for $100,000, 100,000 pounds, and you know, suffer Enrique Lara's morale at 20, which is nothing, because if we look at the home page, player, where is it? Drivers, driver details, morale is just too high. Because my personality trait as an ex-driver gives them 30 plus, they've got way too much. Look at that. They've got way too much morale to even budget, so that's fine. Wonder Kid, overtake specialist. She has a lot of very good, very good traits. Potential overtake specialist, pay driver. Tievo, rock solid, pay driver. Doesn't have as many. We're probably going to sell him at the end of the year and keep Enrique, who will keep going up to those 4 and a bit stars once she gets going. Her relationship with Bobby Griggs is at its peak. And yeah, let's just carry on. Let's have a look at the car, make sure everything's in working order. Engine. Yep. And is there anything else I should be looking at? How about the suspension? No longer need to look at that a little bit. Let's look at that one. And keep us going in that direction. So, yeah, let us know if there's anyone in the scouting world that you guys have seen and you're like, yeah, well, you need to get that person scouted so you can start to hire them for the next race. Phoenix. Cool. Scouting, another scouter. Ashley Wilson. Nothing great. Car. How are we looking? Yeah, we don't need anything there. Look at all those components at their peak. None of them are at risk. So now let's just focus on performance. So all those are going to be peaked up. What else do we need? Rear wing, engine can't do engine. Acceleration. Good. Let's get that going. And yeah, just keep doing that. We might just put something on the reliability radar, just because it doesn't take anything. If we go like that. And keep rolling. Here we go. Phoenix. America. It's not even us, it's the World Championship Series, which we should be competing in next year. Traveling to Rio de Janeiro. How are we looking? Where's my glass of water? There it is. Actually, you know what? Let's have a look at our car now. We're 8th. Acceleration, 5th. So we've jumped up, because we've been fixing the performance of it, we've jumped up significantly. 6th in braking. 8th in front wing. The medium speed corners, that's going to screw us. It's not a requisite for this track. Rear wing, 8th. So we're just going to keep healing them up as we go. And it's pretty much what we're doing anyway. Now, I want to go 1.3 million pounds for third or above because we're consistently hitting that. Let's have a look at the practice. Looks like it's going to be clear, qualifying clear. It's going to be a nice race. The ultra soft tyres come back out for this race session. It is going to be 12 laps and 12 laps only. That surprises me. That's actually a very, very short race, but this should be a very, very long track. In fact, if you look at this, just from looking at this, does this not look like the Brazil track in Formula 1? Goes out. Now, there's probably some like legal issues about, not using the same name and whatever. We're going to stack Party's car. So, yep, stacked. But does that not look like the Brazil track? It's unfortunate they don't have the license to use the actual names of the drivers and the tracks. Let's go there. He is going to get the boost of, during the race, he'll get 40 plus speed, but 10 less reliability. Willing to do that at 93%, which will make it 83%, so that's fine. Parts again, he is up. But, yeah, let's get this rocking and rolling for the race weekend of a lifetime, shall we? Does look like the Brazil track quite a lot, doesn't it? I mean, it should go up there and kick in, but they've obviously copied like the exoskeleton to a small degree. It looks like a long track, and it's going to make it interesting for pit stops, who does what. Ultra softs are coming out. Wow, look at the difference in the car and what the car balance is going to have to be. let's just try that to begin with, see where we're at. And as for Party wants a very, yeah, he wants something similar. A lot of straights, not a lot of corners, so let's just punch him up there and see how he goes. Quite a bit of a different setup. Take practice, we always take practice. Now, because this looks like a longer track, they're not going to be able to do as many laps, which is okay. So, again, if this is the first time you're watching me, I send them out to do 1 lap, and then bring them in straight away from the out lap. They will give me the feedback, and I'll fine-tune their cars. They don't need to turn laps to tell us what to do. This track, if it went earlier up the hill, looks so much like Brazil that it's not even funny, does it? It's a variation because they've cut it out the corner here. It is so like Brazil, isn't it? Anyway, it looks like a really cool track. They've obviously, you know, left the forest in for a bit of a different look. We're still racing in the Asia series, which is weird because, you know, it doesn't really... Brazil's not in Asia, but, you know, that's where the series goes, which is fine. 89%, that's good to start off with. Excellent downforce. So what we're gonna, the biggest change we can make is obviously stiffening up top end, make the gears a little shorter, and let's get them further out. Let's go about there. Bang him straight out. Lara, where are we? Are you happy with anything? I'm hoping you are. 76, yuck. Need to pull this car's head in a little bit. Excellent for top speed. Good. Alright, let's leave you... Let's leave you there, tyre choice. Boom, 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 boom. Get that sped up. So move through the session very fast. How good was the Brazil race this weekend? How good was Max Verstappen in the wet? He surprised a lot of people, I think. I think that Red Bull car has a lot of, you know, mechanical grip, but even so, he just outdid Ricciardo in terms of, you know, confidence and finding that grip level that no one else could on the track, didn't he? Did an exceptional job. It was unfortunate. I think his team screwed him over. I think Red Bull putting him out intermediates really screwed up his... coming in first or second, and maybe even making it more interesting, because if he comes second, then he pushes, you know, Nico back in a third, and then Nico would have had less of a buffer in the championship for Lewis. So while the last round does come down to the championship for both of them, it's not decided yet. Nico just has to finish, I think, in the top 3. And that's if Lewis, and Lewis has to win, pretty much. So how are we looking? We've gone the wrong way with the understeer, so that's where it was. That's where it needs to be, so it needs to be more stiffer. Alright, are you ready? How are we looking? I think you can go to race trim now, to be honest. Great, poor, excellent. I think I read on the first instance, 85%, so we've gone the right way. Except the... stiffness needs to be up. Ooh. Needs to be up quite a lot, doesn't it? Let's try that. I think you'll find we still have to make a lot more changes to that, to her car. But yeah, we're going to send out Party on a... we're sending him out on race trim because we're about to hit qualifying trim for Lara, which is what we want. speed this up a little bit. Party coming around. Bit of traffic. Got the speed down. Look how much different is because the car's relatively in that window. He's got such a good setup. He just can't. He's struggling to get around. Wow. What is happening right now? Okay, go back into start mode. Good, excellent, excellent. So, made some gains there. Okay, so 94%. Quite happy with that. We need to go that way with the downforce. And we need to get the handling. That looks about right, doesn't it? Except it's a little off. Stiffen it up just a little bit. That looks so close, doesn't it? There we go. Let's bang that one on. See how we go with that. How are we looking? Qualifying trim needs to do one more lap. Ugh. Hardy comes in. Excellent. Good. Okay. And we seem to be going backwards, don't we? How are we going? There. There. So we definitely need to go much slower with the gears about there. Get us in that window. Handling. Let's try that. To go straight out. Bigger changes means they go out slower as well. As in, see how that party goes out before Lara, because we've changed quite a lot. And go back into push mode. She should hit qualifying trim level 1 hopefully this lap when she comes in. Yep. So now when she comes in, I'll put her on race trim as well, and we'll try to get that up to level 3 as fast as we possibly can. Can't get Party's car in that window, can I? It's been a struggle. Okay, let's try that. Come on, Party, give me what I need. Good, excellent, excellent. Were you not just in that same range before? Wow, look at that window. Quite a big jump. So it's in between there and there. More front wing bias. That looks about right. If I can just get them back where they need to be. Bang a ding. Hoping this might be the pick. Into overtake mode you go. Let's start pushing those tyres. Really want to try and get that race trim up as fast as possible. Push mode. Ah, shit, forgot to bring him in. Whoops. He'll do one extra lap, that's okay. Okay, she's finally happy with the car. Excellent, 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 excellent. That's what we need to know. 99%. Let's not muck around with that. That is on point. Stints. Oh, why are you still on... Whoops, I forgot to switch you to race trim. Whoops, a daisy. Let's put you on... 4 laps of fuel. You won't need 4 laps. You'll just need 2, won't you? Just go out there and blitz it. I need you to get that race trim up for me. It's going to be a shame if we don't get that up into where it needs to be. So party. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So they both come in with great setups. How are we going to go with that 99%? Bang, a rang. Get you out on that race trim. And off you go, my friend. Now this is just about burning and turning as many laps as they possibly can. And what are they doing? They're doing about 122 is the fastest laps. Which is what we want. We want them to unlock as much race trim as they possibly can. They might be able to get up to 2. No, they won't be able to get up to 2. So both cars, excellent, excellent, 99%. I've never gotten either car into 100%. That may or may not be possible. We tweaked it as far as we could. It must be like that much of a tweak. But right now, we just want to get our race trim on, which we're just going to fall short of level 2, unfortunately, because I left Lara on qualifying for 1 too many sessions. Otherwise, we might have just gotten it. Let's see if that bar would have been filled up. I think maybe, yeah, we would have definitely just nabbed it. That's really unfortunate, but that's how we go sometimes. That is the difference between being on par and not being on par. But, you know what happens. We got the super softs up to almost 3. So if we weren't making as many changes, they would have done, you know, a couple more laps. But, again, 10%, 15%. A little bit of a difference in terms of performance, in terms of active knowledge. But we'll deal with that. This is a very long session, isn't it? While we wait for 2 cars. There we go. On to qualifying. Want to make sure we do a really good job here. This is about getting the car out, end around, and in. Qualifying trim. Sweet spot. So we're going ultra soft tyres, 10% performance increase. The green sweet spot in qualifying is much bigger. That is a very good field for you. We don't want that. Bang, ultra soft tyres. Cars where they need to be. Let's take qualifying. Let's hope it doesn't rain. Apparently it should be sunshine according to our telemetry from earlier in the week. And how are we looking? Sun, 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 sun. So we want to do 2 laps, which means we have to go out at about lap 8 minutes. Make sure that happens. Track grip will keep going up. So the later we leave it to do a lap, the more grip, the faster the cars will go. It will also mean the more traffic on the track as well. But we'll be able to get a faster lap in if we wait, provided it does not rain. And it's not going to rain. And just beyond the 8-minute mark, it is going to be a really sunny lap. So we're going to send Lara out now. Get her session underway. Start getting her to blitz. It is much easier. This is the strategy I use to get this in the right window. It's much easier. Tire temp moves a lot slower than brake temp. So what you do is, you go out there very hard, very fast to get the tires up, and then you pull it down so the brake temp tries to move as slow as it possibly can. You have to take into consideration the fact that, what's he doing, what's he doing? Lara, you have to take into consideration that brakes move a lot slower. So I'm going to put it down like that. Bang. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Hopefully the brakes can come back to us. Oh, they might not. They're really overheated. Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. Come just in. Good and good. That wasn't great. Let's go to party as we fix up his lap. Okay, let's start getting the tires up. Now, it took a long time to get them down, but because we just did that with Lara, we can finally start to work that out for party. To get those temps down, tires are coming down, the brakes go immediately back up because he's just started. And we're going to get those laps The tyres, the leap's perfect. The brake temps, brake temp is just overheated because he brakes, but he goes with the perfect set of tyre temp for laps for this lap. And he's going to start. Lara is, where is she? She's currently 0.5 of a second up on the fastest lap. And she sets the fastest second sector, so she's on a very good, hot, steaming lap right now. She might have a bit of a back marker pull up, but hopefully doesn't get in the way, or she doesn't get in the way. And coming around onto the main straight, she comes into first position, conveniently into first by 0.666, which is the sign of the devil. 0.666 is the sign of the devil. So hopefully we'll get one more lap in if they can just cruise back around. With about 4 and a bit minutes to go, we should be able to get one lap in. Party's going to get held up here by the back markers, and he was up. No, sorry, he was down by 0.6. But he's now getting balked. I'm just going to bring him in. There's no point him completing that lap. He'll go back to the back of the pack because of all those people who were coming in that lap. So we're going to try and send him out as soon as he comes in. Send out, go to tyres, new tyres. Just get him out there straight away. Don't muck around. Get him out there. Hopefully we can get him in for another lap. I don't think that's going to be possible with the amount of time we've got left. Let me calculate that. 4.5 minutes. No, this is going to be his lap. This will be his lap to do his little dance and to make sure he's going to be able to peak. Lara looks pretty safe in first position. Let's have a look at the weather. The weather is going to continue to go up for track temp. I'll wait for Lara. I might send Lara out. Not just yet. When it hits 3 minutes, I think. Actually, let's just send her out now so she doesn't end up blocking our good friend Party for his outlap. Let's go back to Party, see what he's doing. We need to start slowing it down quite considerably to pull the tyre temps down, to get those brake temps down. They're not answering to us and what we need. They're coming down now. Can he get it? Can he get it? Yeah, that's where we need them to be. Start putting them back in. He just brakes just before the corner. And we're going to start our lap in the perfect range, hopefully. Oh, he just brakes. Perfect for the tyre temps. Overheated for the brake temps. And that's going to be a bit of an impossible feat to do because unlike Lara, who has such a big window because of her head mechanic, has the option to do that. Doesn't have that big of a window to do it in. So, we want to make sure tyre temps are in the window. And by doing that, brake temps will automatically be good. At least not overheated. So, by doing that, we're right in the window now. Let's start pushing it. And just slowing it just before we start. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Get in that window, get in that window, get in that window. Start to speed it up, start to speed it up, start speeding up, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Perfect and great for the brake temps. So let's have a look. Party's first sector. He is up at the first sector, down at the second sector by 0.182. And he is very fast at the moment. Can he convert this into a pole position lap? Yes, he does. He goes to first position. But not after Lara. Lara is currently going around. She has free clean air. Hopefully she doesn't catch up to these back markers. There is about 6 cars ahead of her. She's just done a personal first best. The first sector, 0.1 up. She might get blocked here. No, she gets around the back marker, but she's going to get... unfortunately, her lap is going to unravel here. That's a shame. A lot of cars are trying to make the most of their lap by coming out when the track is at its optimum grip level. And Lara may have to just go along with getting fourth, and Party is for second. He's been pushed down from De Graaf. De Graaf goes in first by posting the first, second, and third best sector. We've actually got a lot of cars to still come around. Let's look at Ingle, who did a good first lap, currently in fifth position. She's coming in. Is anyone still doing a flying lap? No, that's an in lap for Fox. Cruz is doing an in-lap as well. Parks, where are you at the moment? Parks is doing an in-lap, so is Diost. So that's gonna wrap it up. We've gotten second and fourth, which means we're in our sponsorship goal of third or above. It's gonna be a sandwich with Esprit GP and Dragon Team Racing. First, De Graaf, Party second, Holtz third, Lara fourth. So they've split us evenly. Unfortunately, it is the one team we didn't want them to get pole because they get the 2 extra bonus points. But that's okay. We've got that big of a lead. I think 14 points, if I'm wrong. So that lead now goes down to 12 points in the championship from the get-go. How are we looking? Ooh, We're about 0.6 off our fastest lap. But I still think Lara had it in her. Lara had enough to try and, you know, convert that into a pole. She was only 0.1 down in the first sector until she got held up. But that's what happens. Looks like this is the important people are on the top 4. The people who are competing for the championship are on the top 4. The fans, quite happy. Wow, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of support for Dragon Team Racing coming into this race. And it looks like we're going to be starting on a damp track. A quite overly damp track. Let's have a look. 5% race trim. What do we want to do? I might leave that in there instead of the super softs. Because at the moment, we are going to have to go with intermediates. And because we might have more pit stops than just one, because we might have to stop if it goes to dry, and or wetter, and we get full wets. Fast pit stops now have 15% less mistake chance. So let's roll with that. Race trim is what we want. Because we might even not get onto these super softs. How we're going to set up these cars is going to be very interesting. We're both going to go on, how can we do it? Intermediates. I think we're going to roll straight into intermediates. It gets wetter by after lap 1. So let's go straight to intermediates. 12 lap race. Let's go halfway. So we're pretty much doing what they did in the Formula 1 recently with an intermediate, or wet track I should say. That's more around for the intermediate tyres. So as for party, we want to go 7 laps. That dampness should stay up, and that's going to split them evenly in terms of doing a pit stop, because we don't want them to stop together. That will make them double park behind each other. And let's get the what's the wear on the tires? Let's look at 10 a lap. Let's go out and be aggressive. Straight off the bat, tire wear, attack mode. Bang, bada bang. I'm sure. I'm going to take a risk. Now, if all the other teams are going to be going out on soft, well, I should say slicks, good on them, I don't think they'll last. The graph. So, as I said, it is a 1, 2, 3, 4 Esprit / Dragon Team Racing start. Now, here's the interesting thing. If we get off the line better, our whole lane will go better. So 2nd and 4th will move up, as well as 6th and 8th. Because they're starting on the inside of the track, if they go slower, we're going to have a bit of a disadvantage. Now, looking at this, we are the only team to go on intermediates. De Graaf and Holtz on ultra softs. Is anyone else? Super softs. So we're the only team going out on intermediate tyres. So, I don't know. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if this is going to pay off. Do you guys think it's going to pay off? Let me know in the comment section below before this race. Do you think we can still win with this strategy? Lara gets banked up behind Party, who doesn't get the worst start, but he doesn't get a great start. He's actually on the inside for turn 1, and they're fighting side by side. They're going to be rubbing bumpers. He goes into first position and fights off De Graaf for that spot. And can he push him out wide to let Lara through? At the moment, the track is getting damper, and everyone's still finding that, you know, those grip levels, as Max Verstappen did when he went to Brazil. And Party is going to have to surrender the spot to Lara. Now, we do not have team orders. We are not going to allow, the team to race. Let them race as they see fit. And looks like first position, De Graaf is going to get away. The whole field is being banked up behind us, being on those intermediate tyres for the moment. But I strongly feel as though the race is soon going to come back towards us, because it's going to get wetter and wetter. We'll have to check on lap 2 to see if it's going to benefit us. As you can see, there's quite a spray from Party's car, from the rest of the field. Lara is going to drop back into 5th position. How's the tyres going? They're at 87%. And right now, it looks like we are catching De Graaf. 1.5, 1.4, 1.2, 1.1. We are starting to eat them up. Lara, she's starting to catch up as well onto that battle pack as it gets wetter and wetter. And it looks like by just after lap 3, it's going to start to get drier. So we might actually have to stop and go back in. We'll have to keep a close eye on that weather forecast. See what is going on in terms of our strategy. Let's go down into push mode, back into push. Party. Where is he? He's on the fastest 2nd sector. So no one's able to keep up on him at the moment. And you know what? if it's going to get drier, we're going to have to put both of them into overtake mode and start to push the tyres, get that boost out of them, because they will have to pit very shortly. Very shortly indeed. So may as well push the cars out as fast as you possibly can, having to pit. And we are going to go try and do a 1 pit stop strategy. So we're going to try and go 2 to 3, 4 laps at least, so we can push the tyres out as much as they possibly can go. Because after that lap, it looks as though it's going to get a lot drier. Significantly drier. So dry that dry is the only way to go. So how are we looking? First and second. How are we going to do this? We will go around one more time. What is the gap? What is the gap? The gap is 9 seconds. So we're not going to double bank them. If we lap them, if we pit them on the same lap, that's fine, because there should be enough time for one car to go in and the second car to come in after without them being banked up. We'll see how that pays off. They're both pushing the limits. It's going to get really dry really fast in that next lap, and it's not going to change. In fact, it is just going to continue to get drier and drier. So let's look at pitting. As for Artie, what is his... Remember, he can also go fast with less risk because of our mechanics bonus that we've decided to go with. All the parts look great, nothing to change there. 8 laps of fuel. So let's go exactly 7.55, which will round up to 8 when we come out of the pits. Going back to the Ultra Softs, which last 9 to 11 laps, which is perfect for us. Part condition fuel, bang, bada bang, bang, bang. As for Lara, how are ya? Lara currently going around. They are lapping 1.31, 13 seconds faster than the rest of the field. So this is going to pay off for us. This is what you need to do in order to be competitive. Everyone else will have to pit. We're just going to have to do our 1 stop. They'll have to do a 1 stop as well, but we're that far ahead of them. Fast, it's going to be risky. It's going to be a 29% chance of slipping up. But we're going to risk it for the biscuit. 7.5 laps. And in you go. So let's watch this stop to see if they are going to have to double stack at any stage. Hopefully it's a quick turnaround for Party, then Lara, and then they're both going to be so far ahead of the rest of the field that it's going to be a non-race for us in some ways. 11 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. That is huge. So Party comes in. He just did this fastest second sector. Lara also comes in doing her fastest second sector. Mistake with the refueling. He goes, it's bad. Lara goes straight in. There is not a double stack at all. That was perfect for us. And he is going to come out. We're going to put him back into neutral and neutral because we've done our 1 stop. Everyone else is going to have to do a stop after us. So we've got track position coming in first. Lara will not be able to compete for first position now because she's a little bit far behind the rest of Party, I should say. But they're on the same strategy, but that far apart. And given that she's going to be held up by John's daughter, Party is just going to have to do what he needs to do, and that's just to finish this race. So I might actually speed up this race and just watch the fuel levels, make sure everything's fine in regards to them, you know, still doing the necessary laps. Jessica Monroe does the fastest lap. Everyone's starting to pit now. Excess fuel, that's good, that's good. Lara comes through, she's coming 4th now. John's daughter, DeGraff, because he pits, he goes all the way back into like 14th, and he's going to be held up behind some of those back markers fighting through the field. Yes, he is. That's hugely unfortunate for him, great for us. Where is Holtz? Holtz is the other competitor back in 8th position, is pitted as well. Everyone else is pitting as we see. That's the way. And when we get to lap 9, I might just make sure everything's looking great in terms of our strategy. Let's have a quick look. We're 1 second ahead of Fours, but still has to pit. Behind that is 13 seconds. So this is just going to be a quick, fast race, fast forward mode for us because we're under no threats. And in fact, for Party's car, I might just put him back into conservative mode so it doesn't wear out the car reliability-wise. That way we've got less to fix and we can start, you know, fix everything in the workshop faster and faster. And that's how you do it. You put the car back into low mode because it does actually use up the engine's reliability. Nina Holtz sets the fastest second sector. And is it starting to rain again? It is starting to rain. Is it worth pitting? I don't think it's worth pitting at the moment. How much of a gap we've got? We've got 11 seconds. We could technically pit, then re-pass them all, but I don't think that's going to be worth it. Let's just play this race out, put it back into slow mode. Nina sits the fastest lap, still 11 seconds behind. She's going to have no advantage in the rain, and Do we want to pit? I don't think we do. We're that far ahead. There's no point pushing it, and none of the drivers are going to be pushing, so I don't feel like they're going to crash. So by, you know, 2 more laps, it's going to be in that range where it's going to be extremely wet, but that's okay. She wants to come into Inters, we're going to have to ignore that. Sorry, Lara, but we just know the best for the team at the moment, and that's just for you to keep doing what you're doing. Holtz is catching you, but she's pushing the car, and she knows what she needs to do. If she does pit, that's going to push her back by 20 seconds, and they're not going to be catching us at, you know, a faster rate than 10 seconds a lap. Let's just watch what Holtz does here. No, Holtz stays out. Opposition driver. Lara is that far ahead. She's still 10 seconds ahead, keeping that gap. Now 11 seconds. And it looks like this is going to be a very safe race. Because we did a great strategy at the start of the race, it set us up for, you know, a great finish. It's going to keep getting wetter and wetter. So I might completely back down a little bit here. And back up, back up. There's no need to keep pushing. There's no pressure from anyone. Fast forward it a little bit. Where are we? Party, party, party coming around. Quite a lot of excess fuel. He's got 0.7. I think that is Sevilla being shown the blue flag. He can't pass. Some of the cars. Yep, the rest of the field is coming out for Inters. What are we doing? They're 26%. 26 seconds behind. They are a non-threat at the moment. We're doing laps at 133. We might push back to 145s now that it's getting wetter. Nina Holtz is going to stay out. She's gotten the gap down to 8 seconds. It's not going to be enough for the last lap unless we have a huge mistake or a crash. But the rest of the let's have a look. The first person on Inters is Ingle. He's done a 131. That's not going to be threatening us at all for our second spot. So this is going to be back-to-back races where we've come first and second purely because of our ultimate strategy. Holding out on Inters on a drier track, waiting for it to get wet in lap 2 onwards, and that's what's made it the difference. Holtz now down to 4.3 seconds, 4 seconds, 3.7. And you know what? I think we might have to start pushing Lara just a little bit. Let's start going a little bit harder. No, it's not going to be enough. There's that big of a gap. Party comes around to take on first position. We get that 1.3 million bonus for the round because we qualified and raced and got into those optimum spots. And this has been a great finish for us because the car has just been really responsive to us fixing what we have instead of designing new components. John's daughter is actually going to pass. Did I just see that correctly? John's daughter passed Holtz for third position. I didn't even... That was... Whew. That just happened so fast, and then she broke down upon finishing. Was that a glitch, or did that actually happen? I didn't even see her going that well. But John's daughter finishes in third. Holtz is actually not going to come third at all and gets pushed off the podium. As you can see, everyone's getting banked up behind John's daughter at the moment. And yeah, we do a great finish for round 8, first and second. Get as many points as we can get, except we didn't get pole. That's alright, I don't even know where De Graaf finished. De Graaf is back in 8th. He did 2 stops, so he went to Inters. And John's daughter... I have to look at that, John's daughter. So we get the fastest lap of the race. No, we don't. Holtz did. 124 by a whole second. Tyre selection, standings. More importantly, we're coming first and third at the moment. We're killing him. Where is... De Graaf is only on 10 points, so Esperett's going to be struggling at the moment. Events. How do we want to look? John's daughter... I can't believe she got third over the line. It just happened so fast. I want to check that. Yeah, so John's daughter did technically come third. It wasn't like a glitch or anything, so that's what's happened. Changed tyres that much faster, doing a 132 compared to Nina, who was doing a 142, and we were doing like 146s. So again, amazing race. Let's look at the scrutineering. Any rule breaks? Sorry. Nope, no rules broken. And we're going to finish with our maximum points. Laura actually getting pinged for an illegal component. Tisk, tisk. Why is it always the case? First and second, so back-to-back first and seconds. Unbelievable for the team. And we're going to be fighting for first and second in this championship. 40 points. Now, given that the last round is usually double the points, we can still lose this championship, so it's fair enough that we keep driving. No need to design new parts, just keep racing as we are. And I'm going to say thank you so much for tuning in for round 8. Brazil, it has rained. We've done a Max Verstappen. We've done what we needed to do on the right tyres. Markability has not increased. We've not gone up in terms of our sponsorship appeal. That's alright, but all these little traits are still ticking away as we speak. Have any of them ticked over? It looks like fitness has gone up to 19 for Lara. Still doing everything else. Anyway, guys, this has been SpotTheOzzie. Please hit that subscribe button if you want to keep seeing more Motorsport Manager videos. I am literally uploading these on the daily at the moment, and we are going to be in that World Championship Series. You can depend on it. You can count on me, for next round. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys soon.